Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. We're returning today with some more big games in Ligue 1, kicking off with a trip to Lille, who are currently sat in second place, just above us by 1 point. We obviously had a bit of a mixed bag of results in the previous episode, with a couple of defeats in the league which saw us slip down the table, but we are still only 2 points behind PSG. You can see the top 5 is very tight at the moment. This is a huge game to kick the episode off away in Lille. Here we are then, guys. Bloody hell, that striker they've got looks like an absolute unit. I was looking at their team beforehand and they are pretty strong, but I wouldn't say compared to a lot of the other teams that we faced they're any better. We've had a mixed bag of results recently, so interested to see how we're going to get on today against Lille side that are probably overachieving so far in the league this season. Here's Fofana down the line to Yusor, up against the veteran Spaniard Grimaldo, crosses into Openda, and his header is turned behind by the keeper. First sort of half chance of the game falling to us, and the corner is cleared. Lille moving the ball around here nicely. Barak is looking to get in behind, and we've not cleared it there. Ball's into the middle. What a block by Timur Kovacevic. That is brilliant defending, hence why he's getting this long run in the team. Threw himself at that. Only 13 goals conceded in their 13 league games. But you can see that we are significantly the top scorers in the league. Zagrova down the right has Fernandez for company. Cuts it back to Ezequiel Palacios, former Leverkusen man. It's away from Herrera, and the ball's through and it's in. Not particularly convincing from Galini, and Lille, the home side, take the lead. Missed the tackle there with Herrera, and then just little ball through past Edson Alvarez, who'd slipped into that right centre-back position. And I'm not sure about the animation from Galini. Not sure what he's trying to save there, but Julio gives Lille the lead, and with the best defensive record in the league, it's going to be a difficult task to get back into this. We trail at the break to the last team who actually beat PSG to the title. Of course, we mentioned it in the previous episode where we faced PSG. Lille obviously won the title under Christophe Galtier in, I think it was 2021. So 7 years ago now in the game. Lille coming forward, and it's into Barak. Barak with the strike. And Galini again forced into the save. You can see in the top left, obviously it's not always a fair reflection on the game, but 7 corners to our 1 proves how many times the ball's been up this end and Galini's been forced into making the save. Here's Barak to win it. Oh, it's another big save. Pulls through to Barak once again. He's beaten that offside trap. Barak! Oh, it's a brilliant strike. It's been coming. I've literally just made some changes as I was trying to force the equaliser, but it's a brilliant ball through to Barak, who's got the pace, and this is some finish on his left foot, in off the crossbar, and probably enough to seal it for Lille. Buick from the other side. Into Openda, flicked on and away, and oh no, in the last minute of the game Lois Openda's gone down. This is big for the season, guys, if Openda's out for the rest of the campaign. And Lille looking to pile on the misery. It's brilliant, and it's 3. They have compiled the misery. Palacios with the 3rd, and Openda going down as well. A nightmare evening for Lons. Well, we were absolutely dominated in this game. You can see the XG. Lille deserving of the 3-0 victory, and a lot to think about going forward, especially if Openda's going to be out for a number of months. Alright, let's see what the news is then for Openda. It's 2 months. It could have been worse. Lois Openda will be down until probably the end of January. big miss during a busy period. Well, guys, we've got a Europa League clash here against Valencia. Quite a big game in the group stage, but I just want to touch on this. You look here, we've got 4 games in about 10 days here, 3 in the league, 1 in Europe. And I mentioned during the transfer window, with our squad not being massive, we needed depth, and with Openda going down now as well, chance for Taiwo and Jankovic to really step up. We're going to sim here against Valencia. As I mentioned, it's quite a big game in the concept of the group, so we could do with getting a result here. Well, guys, no such luck against Valencia this time. A late winner from Casado, which could potentially put us in danger of getting knocked out of the Europa League group. Right, back to matters in the league. Couple of changes just to try and mix things up for us, as it's not really been going to plan in the league. Obviously, we had to rotate in Europe, as we've just got so many games in a short period of time. But we are facing Guingamp, who are currently bottom of the league with just 1 win to start the campaign off in their first 14 games. So if we can't win this one, we've got absolutely no hope of challenging PSG. We've dropped down into 5th now as well, and as I've mentioned, I just want to make sure we get back into the Champions League for this season. As Clerk, nearly turned into his own net by the fullback, so we need to make sure that we finish in those top 3 positions. We started quite brightly here though. Clerk, who's playing a little bit further forward into the pocket. Taiwo, there's our goal. Maybe we needed a bit of a change. Taiwo Awoniyi, who, as I mentioned, is in for Lois Openda. I believe that is his first league goal of the season, and we're going to need him to continue scoring in the absence of our number 9. We've been really positive in this game so far. Hadjam into Costa, held his run well. Looks for Clerk in the middle for 2. And Leon Clerc also getting the start in this game. A goal and an assist from that slightly more attacking left centre mid position. Corners swung into the middle. They've got some height in there, and it should really have been a goal back for Guingamp. Oh, given away from the goal kick. That is really poor, and Galini makes the save. Just getting a little bit complacent here. As Dan James in support, and James in behind the fullback, who is not going to catch him. Daniel James 4-3, a brilliant goal on the counter, and that will seal it. Game over. Daniel James on the run again. Edson Alvarez with the ball, and the pace in behind from Dan James for 4. We've not really seen it utilised much this season, but in this game he's come on and shown exactly why that pace is so dangerous. And there's the full-time whistle. A much better performance from RC Lens. It is the game I would expect to win. Unfortunately for Guingamp, they are the whipping boys of the league this year. But it's against the teams at the top of the league that we've struggled at so far this season. Losses to Toulouse, of course PSG, Marseille and Lille as well. So it's against the better sides in the league that we've struggled. Games continue to come thick and fast for Lens as we travel away to the Stade de la Mosson to take on Montpellier, who they themselves won the Ligue 1 title, you may remember, with a certain Olivier Giroud leading the line. I think that was back in, I want to say like 2011 or possibly 2012, as Costa's in behind and gives us the lead early on. We take the lead here as we look to get back to closing down the gap on PSG. Looking back for Seco, it'll come to Clerc. Oh, he's missed it. Huge chance for the youngster. And on his weaker right foot, smashes it past the post. That's a huge chance for 2. Clerc won't let that miss affect him. He's been running games from this left centre mid position. He's on the run here. Has Taiwo in support, and despite the touch from the keeper, Taiwo does make it 2-2. And he's stepping up in the absence of Lois Openda. Taiwo hunting that ball down. He's been brilliant Taiwo Awoniyi. Oh, it's off the woodwork. Comes out to Seko Fofana, and that is a great strike from Seko. Leading by example, and we're 3 up inside 25 minutes here. Hits it first time as it comes out to him on the half volley. Backspin power. That is some strike from Seko, the captain, with another belter. Well, that's going to fall for Bowie. Galini's not going to get there. It's over the top. Can Herrera get back? No. And Montpellier, out of nothing, have a goal back. Awoniyi into Clerc, looking to hit back straight away. Leon Clerc, it's 4. Seko fouled, but Yusor plays on. Has Kambedi in support. And Dan James is coming in at the back stick. It's a brilliant save. Oh, and Seko. No, not Seko. Not the captain as well. Oh, we've lost Lois Openda already. And now Seko Fofana as well going down. And Galini again making the save to keep it at 4-1. There's the final whistle. Another good victory. But concern as Seko Fofana forced off after a poor tackle. And with him already decreasing in rating, a long spell on the sidelines is the last thing that we need for the captain. Well, we'll find out now as we sim through how long that injury is. It's another broken elbow. And Seko, alongside Lois Openda, will be out until around the end of January. Bad news for Seko. Here we go then. Back to matters once again in the league. Just a couple of days after that previous win against Montpellier, and no Lois Openda, as we already know, and now Seko Fofana joins him on the treatment table. We do have a good replacement in Onana to come back into the team, and we're up against Lorient, who are kind of on the cusp of being in the top half, as Clerc looks to go round the keeper, and he does really well on this occasion. Here come Lorient again, whipped into the middle. It's a brilliant goal. It's Jackson with the finish, and Lorient again. Our woes continue against the top half sides, and we trail again. Boos ring around the home stands, and it's just a simple ball into the middle. Kovacevic loses his man, and it's a great strike by Nicholas Jackson. Here's Clerc out wide to Buick, back in the team today. Kind of giving him a bit of a harsh treatment into Yusor. Oh, what a save. Oh, that would have been a contender for goal of the series if that had flown in. Over his head, goes for the overhead. And the keeper, what a save. That would have been special from Moses. Corners into the near post. Onana heads on. And again, it's saved by the keeper. We've just been so inconsistent this season. Like, we can beat your Montpelliers, your Troyes, but when it comes to the games against the teams in the top 10, top 8, we really struggle, and consistency is key if you're going to go on a good run, and we've just not been consistent enough. Here's Clerc though, looking to get us back on terms, and Bianchi, the keeper, is having the game of his life in net. Corners in, Onana's under it, and he's not getting to that. Jean Onana in for the captain today, wearing the armband as well, and gets us back on level terms. Good football this from Lorient though, in behind. Square balls on. Oh my god, I was trying to slide. And Herrera intercepted it. And with the keeper out of net, nearly put it into his own goal. Corner for Lorient. Whipped in. It's a dangerous ball, and it's really good defending and cleared by Taiwo. 1-1 at the break. Good game of football this. Can't believe that Herrera moment of madness. I was like spamming X to slide and try and block the pass, and he intercepted it on his own. So then my slide tackle became a lobbed clearance, and he nearly lobbed it into his own net with Galini out. And Lorient coming forward again here. Herrera had to time that right and did. Jackson again. Kovacevic steps in, but Man over on the far side. Big save by Galini. Onana back to Moses. And midfield runners coming into the box. It's Clerk. Oh, what a miss. What a sitter from the young man. That is a huge chance. Given back to Lorient once again. Good football. Nico Jackson. Oh, back inside and a big save by Galini. Maybe one last chance for Lorient. Kovacevic does well. And anywhere will do, Galini. It's a 1-1 draw, and I believe that is actually our first draw of the entire season so far. It's a respectable point against Lorient, who are a decent side. We just sort of cancelled each other out. I think a draw was probably a fair result. We maybe just edged it. We had more possession, more shots, but the XG was pretty similar. And I'd say on the balance of chances, a 1-1 draw was a fair reflection. Well, guys, it's time for the final group stage game of the Europa League. We're away against Bodo Glimt, where, as you can see, there are multiple different scenarios that could play out here. We could still make it through to the knockout stages, depending on the result between Valencia and Slavia Prague. We may also finish in third and drop down into the Europa Conference League, or we could potentially get completely grouped and be knocked out of Europe completely. We've got a game in just a few days' time against Auxerre, so we're going to make changes once again. Let's see how we get on away against Bodo. Right then, guys, there is the result. It's a 1-1 draw away from home, and I'm not entirely sure what that means for the groups. We may be heading down to the Conference League. Yeah, there's confirmation, guys. RC Lens will be dropping down to the Conference League, and do you know what? I don't actually mind that. We've won the Europa League, I think, twice in the save now. First with Atleti and then with Roma. We obviously managed to secure the Champions League with Chelsea last season, and although the Conference League wasn't a trophy that we'd included in the save as one of the challenges, we've obviously got 14 trophies to win. If we include the Conference League, that could round it up to 15, and it is a major European trophy, so maybe we should prioritise on the Conference League this year. I'm kind of excited to play in the conference. Alright then, guys, the penultimate game of the episode will see us face Auxerre here, away from home, where we are currently in second place. So we've put on a little bit of a run of form together once again, and started to move up the table. It is still incredibly close between the top sort of 6 or 7 teams. So if you go on a bad run of form like we saw where we dropped down to 5th, you can drop places in the league. So it's going to be really interesting to see where we finish up come the end of the season. PSG sort of stumbling as well. They've got a bit of a lead at the top, but only 12 wins from their first 17 games isn't as commanding as you might have expected. And Onana now finds Awonyi. Back heel to Clerk. Driving forward, Clerk into Buick. Buick to give us the lead. Bends it home. Brilliant from the Croatian, who's been very patchy this season. Notches up, I think, his 6th league goal of the campaign. So good to see him back on the score sheet. Lovely little counter attack between Taiwo and Clerk. And Betty with a good little foot in there, and now we can come forward. Moses has made the run, and he's goal side of his man. It's a good ball out to him by Timor, and Moses breaking forward has Taiwo in support. And Taiwo, who's done a decent job stepping in for Lois Openda, notches up, I think, his 3rd goal of the campaign in the league. Taiwo, our deadline day signing, with another goal. We're actually playing it before the other sort of big boys, the teams around us today. So to get the victory, which it looks as if we are going to do, it's been pretty comfortable so far for us. We'll just put a little bit of pressure on those other teams around us. Here's Taiwo in behind once again. Taiwo, can he finish again? Oh, it's off the woodwork. Herrera steps in well. Oh, strong challenge on him, and Herrera, our whole spine of the team's going down injured. Oh, not Ramiro. We're so weak at centre-back. He's by far our best defender. And Ramiro is now going to join Openda and Fofana. on the treatment table. That looked a sore one as well. Schumacher's on the bench today, so he takes his place, but I think going forward, I might just chuck the young man Cunningham in. Why not? All the other boys that have stepped in, Taiwo and Clerk, have done well in the absence of other key players, so Leo's probably going to get his shot. Speaking of Leon Clerk, here he goes racing through and bends home for 3. Still Jankovic through the gap, has a man to beat. Jankovic runs into trouble. But it's a 3-0 victory for Lens, much needed, but again tainted by an injury to one of our key players, and we're losing the complete core and spine of our team. Ramiro Herrera down, and hopefully, like the other two, it's not longer than a couple of months. How long is that injury to Herrera? No. Oh, guys, it's the worst. This is ACL. He's going to be out for the whole remainder of the season. That is such bad luck for Ramiro Herrera. As you can see, guys, his growth has been really good. Gone up 2 ratings already this season. Such a good defender. Quick, strong, got good defensive stats as well. Grown by 2 ratings up to 80. But he's going to miss the entire remainder of the season. Does give the young man, though, Leo Cunningham, a chance to step up. He is apparently in bad form. He has grown a rating so far this season, and he looks decent, to be fair. I think this guy could grow into something very good. I think he's actually Lewis Dunk's regen. I did a bit of research off camera, and he is Dunk's regen. But I don't know, I think him and Kovacevic, the young lads at the back, let's see what they're made of. Chance for them to get a lot of first team football. Well, guys, we've had the draw for the preliminary round of the Europa Conference League, and RC Lens will be taking on AZ Alkmaar. Okay, I fancy our chances of that. You can see the rest of the teams in the competition. A couple of like decent names, but I think we should be going all out to win at this competition this year. We'll add it to the trophy room if we can get our hands on it come the end of the year. And it's just a little mini side story on top of our domestic adventure. So that Conference League tie won't be until mid-February. So we'll close out December in today's episode. And then, of course, we'll have the January transfer window where we basically have no funds left in the budget. And then it is back to European football in February. All right, then, guys, it is time for the final game of the episode, which will bring us to exactly the halfway stage of the League 1 season. So it would be nice to close out the first half of the campaign with a victory here. Of course, we're missing those 3 key players. Lewis Openda first to go down, out for 2 months, followed by Seko Fofana with the same injury, also sidelining him for 2 months. And then in that previous game, Ramiro Herrera, big loss, out for the remainder of the season with a torn ACL. Ball out by Golini. Now Taiwo releases Clerk, who's in behind Sepp van den Berg. Leon Clerk bends it home for 1-0. Composure from the young man. Antoine Griezmann regen. Leon Clerk has been fantastic in the last run of games, and he bends home to give us the lead here. Composure from the young Frenchman. Picks his spot, bends it past the keeper. It was poor from Van den Berg in the build-up. And Leon Clerk with another goal from midfield. Here come Monaco looking to get back into it themselves, though. Evan Nilsson does slam home at the near post. The former Porto man beats Golini, who will be disappointed, and I'll be honest, he's made some good saves, Golini, this year, but he's conceded quite a lot of what I would call cheap goals. I don't think he should get beaten at his near post from that angle. Look at the small gap that Evan Nilsson's got to pick out there. Golini beaten, and straight away Monaco back on level terms. Well, there's that shakiness in the back 4 on display. We don't keep many clean sheets as it is, but even more so now we're going to have to try and outscore our opponents in every single game. Here's Yusor. Poor Cunningham snapped there, and now he's gone down and staying down as well. And now Monaco looking to come forward from our own set piece. got players in support. It's a brilliant ball and Monaco take the lead. It's Wahi with the goal and it's a brilliant little counter-attack. The ball through by Evan Nilsson and it's a clinical strike from the Frenchman past Galini. And with 15 to play, Monaco take the lead. Well, those injuries potentially playing a part in this display here. But here goes Leon Clerc in behind. Has Taiwo in support and it's 2-2 just like that. Back on level terms, Taiwo with another. It's up to Jankovic. Lovely little take. And he finds Dan James, who's surely got the pace on Van der Berg. He's in behind. Dan James overruns it. Terrible from Dan James. Had a man in support and the touch was too heavy, too quick for his own good. It's a reasonable 2-2 draw to end off the first half of the campaign though. Let's go and see how that leaves us in the league. Well, as we now head into the winter break, you can see PSG exactly halfway through the season with a 7-point lead. And they're just too good for us at the moment, especially with the injuries that we've had. We started the season off so well, but we have dropped off. It's still very tight between the 6 sides below that, from 2nd to 7th, just 6 points separating them. I do feel confident that we will finish in either 2nd or 3rd this year and return to the Champions League. That is, as I've mentioned, kind of our main objective, as I don't think we're going to be able to compete with PSG. Let's get the money for playing in the Champions League back and hopefully we can recruit in the summer and go again next year. That is where we will end it for now though, guys. We've obviously got European football to come as well in February, when we will be returning it to the Europa Conference League, looking to add that to the trophy room as well. We should also have the Coupe de France starting soon as well, potentially in the next episode as we head into January. And of course we still have a very good chance of potentially making it all the way and winning at that competition as well. That will do it for today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed and I'll catch you in the next one soon. Peace.